our dear friend Dan Bongino, who's looking for a teepee for his bunghole. This will be my last thing, and I'll let you guys go. And then I will see you guys Saturday for the radio show, and then, of course, Monday for our regular show. Again, I'll try to do my morning show as well, if I can pull myself away from family and friends, if you must. Yes, she and I go to the same hairdresser. I do this just to upset Dan Bongino. Bongino, this has got to be, let's see. Kamala Harris's clueless speech is just unbelievable. This has got to be the video of the day. Kamala says two things that are just knee-slapping hilarious. Okay, well, let's hear it. Here we go. This is going to be knee-slapping hilarious from Dan Bongino, who is looking for a teepee for his bunghole.
Ensure that electric vehicles are affordable for everyone.
This has got to be the video clip of the day. She says two things.
Well, yeah, that's what it says in your don't repeat stuff. But did they just put did they transcribe what you're saying through digital means and then just put it in the, I don't know. I just can't even.
Two things that are just knee-slapping hilarious. Number one, she says, families are stretched thin. Now, why is that? It's not funny because families are stretched thin. It's funny because families are stretched thin because of the inflation they're causing by printing more money to...
Hi, dumb fuck. Okay, do we have to go down this road again? We don't have inflation because we are, quote unquote, printing money. We have inflation because Americans have more money and we're pushing ourselves to the front of the line to buy gifts and goods ahead of everyone else in the whole fucking world. And so people can charge us a premium for those very same things. We also have a percentage rise based on numbers going below zero last year, especially when it comes to gas. So no, quantitative easing and the effects that the Fed has been doing, or even the bills that have just been passed where no money has entered the financial markets at all from this shit yet, from the infrastructure bill, is not why the price of shit is going up. The availability of it, the price of workers, there's some other stuff as well. But then, of course, Dan Bongino wants everybody in the country to work for $2 because it's what he thinks you're worth.
And that we don't have. And then she says, despite the fact that families are stretched thin because they caused it, she goes, don't worry, we're lowering the price on. And then she goes through a list of items, food, healthcare, cars, that literally Santelli just in the last segment was like, they're all going up at record rates.
No, they went up record rates from last year because we were in a pandemic lockdown. Everything went down at a record rate. Oh, the audio's low? I don't know why it does this on each one now. What's the auto set? Sorry.
I can't,
here you go.
What
Back
is
up.
It about
Back up.
She goes, don't worry, we're lowering the price on. And then she goes through a list of items, food, healthcare, cars, that literally Santelli just in the last segment was like, they're all going up at record rates.
No, they also went down at record rates last year because no one was going anywhere, especially fuel costs, and that's why fuel costs are going up, and that's why it's causing other things to go up. That's worldwide, has nothing to do with U.S. policy at all.
I can't, what is it about being a leftist? Don't worry, though, folks.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's the whole thought. You had to edit around that?
Everything's good. Joe, no worries. Kamala Harris is getting ready to give away more money if you want to buy a very expensive electric car, because it's not like giving away more taxpayer money you don't have. Therefore, printing it is going to cause an inflation crisis to chase more products we don't have in a supply chain crisis. Kamala Harris has it figured out. You're in an inflation supply crisis. Just print more money to help people go buy expensive electric cars they don't need.
Well, no, we're subsidizing them in our market so that we can get to the front of the line on these things. But we did this with Tesla and it worked. It was profitable. The money isn't just to go pay for these things. The companies that borrow this money have to pay it back, and the U.S. taxpayer makes money on this exchange.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. No, it is. Here, check this out.
The President and I know that families are stretched thin, and we take that seriously. And we have designed this bill to help everyday folks who just need a little bit more support. So we are lowering the costs of everything from childcare to health care, from prescription drugs to electric vehicles. Our Build Back Better Act will cut the sticker price of new electric vehicles made in America by union workers by up to $12,500. And it will also include, and this is a new approach, a tax credit of up to $4,000 for used electric vehicles. To ensure
Listen to all those idiots who think a tax credit isn't free money. For money they don't take from you is money that's being printed. They don't even recognize that a tax credit is money they give you in credit for taxes you would have paid. The money they're not taking from you if you spend it on something that's better. All right.
that electric vehicles are affordable for everyone.
This has got to be the video clip of the day. She says two things there. Two things.
Hi, dumbass. You've said that already.
They're just knee slapping hilarious. Number one.
I know that you've also asserted that in the title.
He says, families are stretched thin. Now, why is that? It's not funny because families are stretched thin. It's funny because families are...
Sorry, we're replaying the top of this. So you play a clip from the inside of this clip that's 4 minutes long at the top of this clip.
Stretched thin because of the inflation they're causing by printing more money to spend that
we watched this already. You only use... Oh, fuck. Why am I teaching YouTube to assholes like this? You only put this is, if you hang around near the end, you'll see this cool part. This is what I'm going to get to, but watch the rest of it on a 10-minute plus clip. 20 usually.
Don't have. And then she says, despite the fact that families are stretched thin because they caused it, she goes, don't worry, we're lowering.
Sorry, they caused it.
Price on. And then she goes through a list of items, food, healthcare, cars, that literally Santelli just in the last segment was like, they're all going up at record rates.
Yeah, did Santelli mention they all went down at record rates last year because no one was using them specifically?
What is it about being a leftist? Do you ever, at any point in your sad, sorry existence, listen to this and go, I don't know. Maybe they're full of crap this time? Do you ever do that?
No. Every time I listen to you, I go, he's full of crap this time. It happens every time we watch a clip from yours. And it's amazing to watch Dan Bongino watch something else and then see it filter through his fucking head. Because again, you don't print money for a tax credit on a vehicle that nobody buys. So if somebody buys it, you give them a break on taxes they might pay. But if that person doesn't actually make that amount of money or something, even then, if they get an extra $1,000 off of that price that they keep, let's say they do incentives at car dealerships and they're like $4,000 for a used one, for example, even that money ends up going back into the economy right away. Or supports the thing. So you end up buying the used car and then you got $1,000 left over. Most people will buy a charger with that, for example, do a lot of their own home charging. That leads to more people getting solar panels. That leads to less weight on the electrical grid. It's super fucking simple. But we just watched this asshole explain that the Build Back Better bill, which has not passed yet, is somehow going to raise money because they're going to print money by doing this. And that the debt that they take on for the Build Back Better plan will not actually make money over time, which it absolutely will in an educated populace and all kinds of other reasons.
We're lowering the prices. She goes through a list of items where prices are at historic, unprecedented highs.
No, they are not. The percentage change from last year is historic, but not compared to other points in history. It's one of the markers in history. But like in, say, 1982, which is what most people are referencing as far as overall inflation, it was at 14%, almost double what we're going through. And there was no pandemic the year before.
We don't know.
Guy wants to know if that's why our approval rating is at negative 0.8. I don't know. I don't know. I just... all right. Let me get to my second sponsor. And then another, folks, coming up.
Wait a minute. That's the
Another
extent of this whole
prediction
thing.
came true.
This is the knee slapper.
You thought like, oh, you know what? I'll stick with my email list. I'm not going to use Facebook and Twitter. They censor free speech, which they do. ScrewTube. Nope. New York Times giving a wink and a nod that we better start censoring email next. I told you. I did this show, 6 months ago? I promise you, the thing about communists.
We think about communists. We know you're a paranoid paint huffer. We get that.
They got to do communist stuff because they're commies. So the way commies do
all right, that makes sense. The communists got to do commie stuff because they're commies. Sure.
Because they slowly push the envelope every time.
You just heard the damn.
That's it. That's fuck, man. That's the whole segment. That's what he put it. Kamala Harris's clueless speech. It's just unbelievable. She's pushing the Build Back Better plan. It's got elements in it that will lower the cost of prescription drugs, for example, very simply. And that's not something that's caused by inflation. They literally are driving down the price of insulin, for example, and that's in the Build Back Better plan. That is something that allegedly Bongino, in the past anyways, would be for. In theory, this asshole would be for that. He's not for it now because his perceived enemies are for it. Not because it's communism, but because it's them, not us. Now, could Trump have gotten this through if he'd have worked with Mitch McConnell and structured it so that there was even just insulin? Probably could have gotten it through. But Democrats would have signed on to it as well because it's a pretty bipartisan issue. But the Republicans, under Trump especially, cannot look to ever be sharing the stage with Democrats. So any of that stuff was done under the table, anything that they co-signed or was bipartisan, and Trump ignored it. And this would have made too much news. So they couldn't do anything huge that was bipartisan because people on his side would think he was being a sellout. So there you go.